This is why you should move the wine from a jar to another. But when you should do it? Usually when the temperature drops, when it's cold. Like, you know, if you follow my channel, this winter I was in Indonesia. So now that I'm back in Italy, in Apulia, Salento, I will not move from a jar to another, but I will put directly in the bottles. Usually the best time to move the wine is when it's very cold. So in Italy, for example, will be December, January for the first time. And after, you can put your wine in the bottle after the spring, usually after Easter here in Italy. Because when the temperature is cold, all these pieces of grapes, all that dead yeast will drop on the bottom. So when you move the wine in another big jar, you will leave all this sediment on the other one. And why you should put the wine in the bottles after the spring? Because when the temperature rises a little bit, can start again the fermentation. So what's happened? Some bottle can explode. And also if you have the malolactic, I hope that is the right word in English, don't worry, I will write, the malolactic fermentation, sometimes you can smell rotten eggs, sulfur. But don't worry, if it happens to you, when you open the bottle and you smell eggs, the wine is not rotten. It's only this fermentation. So if you put in a decanter or you leave the bottle open in the way that gets a little bit of air, the smell go away and you can drink your wine. What kind of bottle we should use? Like you know, I like to recycle the bottles. Some bottles are better than others, for sure. Usually the good ones are more thick, more resistant. You can notice also from the bottom, but don't worry, deep bottom doesn't mean good wine. I say this for my friends because last time we were playing with this situation. Okay, this one is less deep, but because the glass is less thick. So more thick you find the glass, better is it, because it's more resistant and will be more dark. Or like me, you can use the bottle for prosecco or champagne or sparkling wine. Why? Because usually they are very thick, and plus you have two options. You can use the cork like here, or you can use the other one. Wait, I have one here because I don't remember the name. This one, this is small because it's the one for the beer. You need to buy the bigger one for this. And like I mentioned in the video about the price of the beer, if you make homemade beer, what does it cost? You can use also these bottles for the beer, because you can use this kind of lid. Maybe you can open it when you have a dinner or a party with your friends. So 75 cl will be perfect for a party. Plus, if you like to age your wine but you have not the barrel, you can put the wood inside a jar like this. So this jar is 5 liters, like Alex Larsen advised. With 5 liters you can add 100 grams of oak. This is a turbo stick oak that I use when I age my grappa. So I will put here in the jar 100 grams. I will use also my new machine to put the cork. Sorry, I don't know the name. Let's test it. Okay, see you in the basement. I will change my dress because the Primitivo wine is like ink. If drop on your shirt, you can throw it. See you soon. My advice is to use a pipe like this one. This is proper for the wine because I have this kind of cap that's stuck inside the neck of the jar, because it's very important that you don't go too deep, because like I show you on the bottom there is all this sediment that we don't want to collect. Maybe you cannot find this in your country, but it's very important to have a tap like this, because when the tube is full of wine, you can close it and the wine will stay here. If the wine go back inside the jar, will move all the sediment. So when you will move the wine in another jar, or when you put the wine in the bottles, you will collect all these small pieces that is not nice to see. How does it work? You put inside like this, you blow inside, and the change of pressure will move the wine outside. My tap is a little bit old, don't close properly, but it's okay, I can still use it. Now that I already put 2 liters of wine in the bottles, I will put 5 liters here in the jar with the wood. I don't know if you have noticed the color. I'll show you better. Spectacular. And the smell, really, really spectacular. So now I will go ahead to put the wine in the bottles. I will close only one to show you the machine if it's working or not. And about the wax, you can see the old video. If the cork doesn't go through very easy, you can oil them a little bit with extra virgin olive oil or with seed oils, a little bit, not much. They will enter better in the bottles. And now and after, we should wait 3 weeks before we can bottle also the aged wine. This is the only problem when you use this kind of machine for the cork. You see, it's a little bit outside, but don't worry, for the wine it's not a problem, it's only ugly to see. So if you remove it, the extra part a little bit, and after with the wax you cover everything, your bottle will be spectacular inside and outside. Okay, see you in 3 weeks to bottles the aged wine. Finally, after 21 days, we can put our last 5 liters of wine in the bottles, because now is aged following the advice of Alex. Because the bottle is small, we don't use the pipe or all this equipment, but with a funnel we put directly the wine in the bottles, and after we cork it. For this year our work is finished. Now we should have a little bit of patience, a little bit more. I will wait 2 months, so will be 1 year from when I collect the grapes, and I will do the final testing of the wine, comparing all the kind of wine that I made using the grapes from the beginning, plus this small piece of wood. You can keep it, you can use for other recipe, maybe for a beer. If you make the Italian grape ale, you can use it, you can find the recipe here on the channel. Or if you make homemade vinegar, you can put the vinegar in a container with the wood, or you can use for smoking some kind of salami or cold cuts, because this wood will be perfect, very aromatic. You remove from the wine, you dry a little bit, and after you can use for smoking. See you in 2 months for the final testing.